What time we start?
Now.
It's the Miscellaneous Podcast. Your hosts, Paulie.
Well, Mr. Smiles.
And Josh.
I have the power!
The Miscellaneous Misfits, we have Chappie.
What's up?
Our miscellaneous mascot.
Everything have to have a mascot these days.
Novar Impossible.
Hello.
Special guest, we have Tess.
Hello, Tess.
Hey, y'all.
We have Cheesy Ortega. We have Tsunami. Half man, half machine. We have Sin.
Hello.
Tim, I feel like we haven't heard from Sin in forever.
I've been dealing with a lot. There's goats involved. It's been a whole ordeal.
You know when you were milking it, that was a male goat, right?
I was milking it.
Every time you talk about like a male something, I always remember what was the Woody Harrelson movie? It's like when he milked that bull. He's like, took me a while to get her going, then all at once, pow! Kingpin, wasn't that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Let's say hi. Oh, it's Lavender. Welcome, buddy.
Lavender, it's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Bethalto, Chicago, and Wacoda, Illinois.
Hi, Illinois.
Oh.
Can I have some pizza or some
Hi, I live in the broke-ass state, too. Hey!
Chappie, there's no cussing, please.
You can say ass on national television, so that's
I
okay.
think ass is okay, yeah. That should be okay. Houston, Texas. Thank you.
I
Hi.
can say ass.
All right, I'm from there.
Yo, I'm there from there too.
Howdy, y'all.
Hi, me.
What? Sin and Tess are from Houston. I live in Katy. What's up?
I'm in the Woodlands.
Is Katie cute?
Wow. I hear a meetup coming up, guys. Just gonna have to happen.
Do
That's
you
right.
know Josh?
I usually don't travel farther than Dallas.
That's funny. We have to have a meetup. Do you know, Josh?
We gotta go to the Mall of Alcohol.
Say, Sin, Tess, they don't know about specs.
Oh, no, they don't?
No, yeah, I've tried to describe it to them. I'm like, it's the Walmart of liquor. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Oh, are we talking about that alcohol store? I that's the only reason I'm going to go and have this meet and greet, because I really want to go to this alcohol store.
Not to
Well, and you haven't told them that there's like one on every corner, right?
No, yeah, I know they're everywhere.
What? He made it sound
But
like
see,
it was some
I want to
oasis.
take them to downtown, the one on Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're gonna take us where?
Yeah, that one.
That would be the bomb. Yeah.
There's we have like all these different stores around, the different spec stores, and they're a little smaller. But there's one that's in downtown Houston that's enormous.
And that's where you're gonna take us?
Ginormous.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going to take you to the Mecca, to the beginning.
I like
Testing.
it. A lot better, buddy.
Hey man, we're talking, no testing.
Thumbs up.
When in doubt, choose C.
I'm just trying to make sure I don't sound like crap again.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, St. Louis and Bridgeton, Missouri. Hi.
Hi.
Hi there, guys.
Ashburn, Virginia. Hi.
Real place.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
They
It's
made
not a
her
real
get some
place.
double ply.
That sounds made up.
Huddersfield, United Kingdom. Does that sound made up?
What? Hello?
We said hi to them last week.
We
I'm not
did.
gonna lie, Paul. It does sound a little made up.
And Mountain View, California.
I
Hi.
wonder if that's my kids that are calling in for that one.
Welcome, Mountain View.
Yeah.
Does anybody like comic books? I like comic
If you
books.
don't like comic books, you're not American. Get out of here.
It's called BJ and Grilled Cheese. If you go to Spreaker or Google Play or whatever, Castbox, YouTube, and you go to the Valentine's Day episode, you will see the artwork that this guy did for our show. He has his own graphic novel out, and it's pure comedy. It's great. It's not really for kids. It just does adult kind of situations. But go to Amazon and search for BJ and Grilled Cheese, and it'll pop up there. All right, let's talk about Tess. Let's talk about Tess, baby.
Tess,
Talk about Tess and me.
I want to figure out How did you come about, Tess? That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, there were the birds and the bees.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees.
That's not what I meant. I meant, how did she join podcasts? I'm just kind of curious.
Let's see here. I've been gaming since 2008. Played a little bit of Smite. Got into watching a bunch of different streamers, and then started hanging out with Nev. Scary thought. Started hanging out with Nev and the gang online a little over a year ago. Started listening to Summoning Stone, and then met Polly through the, of course, wonderful online friendships. And
Hi.
he was like, "Hey, yo, hi," and there I am.
We're glad to have you.
And I've
And,
played before.
yeah.
So Tess is here also to help promote her GoFundMe that she's going through right now. She's going through a little rough patch, and she's asking the community for help. And it's on the Facebook page. It's also on my Twitter, which is at PJ Miscellaneous. And
He almost said BJ.
I did, yeah.
He did. That actually sounds pretty awesome, though.
It's a great thing. Please help out.
Well, it's just I got kicked in the teeth by real life. I got the big, nobody wants to hear the word cancer. It's always scary. I'm in a good place though with that. Now it's just nobody truly kind of understands the background part of it. And my job let me go, even though they knew I had cancer. They terminated my employment on May 17th. I chose to focus on myself, learned that I was really living under stress, and now I am going through treatments, and the funds that are going to be raised are going to help save the home, because now my husband is the only sole income for the family. And we do have a niece and nephew that live with us. So that's real life.
Yeah, this is coming from Lavender. I wish you the best of luck. I'll pray for you. I don't care if this is on air, but
Radio edit.
Cancer.
I second that one. That one doesn't need to be bleeped. That one's a worthwhile screw you.
Cancer can suck it, honestly.
Right. It doesn't. I did learn I have learned a bit about cancer. There's so many different forms, because going through the treatment center, I've met so many different people with so many different kinds of cancer, with so many different treatment plans, and I've met people that are fighting and have fought cancer for 4 years continuously through chemotherapy.
My ex-girlfriend, she beat cancer 3 times, so it's very, very possible. And it sounds like to me you're a very, very tough person, and cancer doesn't want to go to war with you.
No, it doesn't. And I have a wonderful support group here at home with my family itself, supporting me day in and day out and dealing with my meltdowns. And then I have Nev, and I have Giggles, and I have Leander, and I have Polly in my online group, and I can come in there and go, I'm having a cruddy day. Let's go shoot something.
Oh yeah, my kind of woman.
I don't want to talk about real life. We're gonna go shoot something. That's it. And we go, and they totally distract me, and it makes it a lot more fun. If you could find some fun in cancer and cancer treatment and surviving it, find it, live it, use it.
Tess, have you checked out Sean White's blog yet? He's a guy who's also suffering from cancer. He had his lung removed. He has his own podcast now, his own webpage. It's SeanWhiteBlog.com. He talks all about what he goes through. He talks all about like the do's and don'ts of chemotherapy and other therapies and stuff that he went through that he wound up finding out that it was not for his body. So if you want to check that out, it's SeanWhitesBlog.com.
Now, how is Sean spelled?
ShawnWhite blog.com.
Perfect.
And blog is spelled.
Did you hear that Disney is pulling their movies off the shelves of Netflix?
Did you hear that you can Netflix and chill is what I thought that was going to.
That's not going to be cool.
Yeah, Disney wants to start their own streaming service because they saw how well Netflix and Hulu and everybody's doing, so they're jumping on the bandwagon.
Unless they make it free, and if it's going to be Disney specific, man.
Well, here's the scariest part, though, is that Disney owns the rights to Star Wars and Marvel.
I know that's so gonna bite.
So they're gonna charge an arm and a leg for the streaming service for exclusivity stuff, right?
Probably.
They easily could. I mean, all these Netflix series, Daredevil, everything else, Luke Cage, could those all be going to their Disney thing?
I don't
be a
think
sad
Disney
candy.
owns the TV series. Or I don't think Disney has anything to do with the TV series.
They own all the rights to the Marvel stuff.
That's not true. Fox owns rights to a lot of the Marvel properties as well.
Well, Sony owns the right to Spider-Man, but other than that, I don't know of anybody else owning the rights.
That's what I meant,
okay,
Sony.
Fox. Another company owns the rights to the Fantastic Four, but besides those
well,
two,
they can have him.
yeah, besides those two properties, I'm unaware of another entity owning them. So, like, as far as as far as the other stuff goes, then yeah, that's a tough one.
All right. I don't know too much about it. I just wanted to tell
Speaking
you.
of Marvel movies, what do you all think about all the Netflix series as far as Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and all them?
Jessica Jones reminds me of E.
Yeah, a cuter version. She's like a superhero slut.
Okay.
Wow.
Those are my favorite ones.
I'm just saying.
I hate to hear what you think about Wonder Woman.
She doesn't look like anybody I know.
Yeah, she's in a different category. I would marry her the first time I see her in person.
I couldn't handle her being in slow motion all the time. It just bothers me.
What about Harley Quinn?
Oh, wait. Are
I'm
we
into
talking about the
crazy
cartoon
chicks.
character, or are we talking about the actual movie one?
Suicide
Actual
Squad,
movie, actual
Harley
movie.
Quinn.
Oh, and a heartbeat.
I like the cartoon
that's
better.
That's Paulie's thing, because Harley would beat him and show him some very, very good Matrodomus excitement. I think
I've
Paulie-
heard some stories.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
Lavender, she
Yeah.
blows up that double bubble gum and just pops it.
That's cool. Yeah.
We have people asking for your Facebook page currently in stream. So if you want to throw that out there real quick, so that
I will
Which one,
send you
ours?
the link right now.
Yeah.
I got it, Polly.
Oh,
right.
you go, girl. Thank you.
Because you always gotta take over everybody's glory. I'm taking over my own damn glory.
What glory do I take over?
Let me call him, and he will be live.
Oh, I
Well,
just seriously.
he is
Seriously?
the general. He is the general. So
He'll
I
do
mean,
anything that breathes.
I never. Damn you, Navarre!
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
crap! Well, I mean, is it true?
well,
I'm
Yeah.
pretty picky, actually, but thank you.
But I never said. I hate you, Navarre.
I know.
You haven't learned yet that he likes to stir the pot?
And where's Josh in all this? He's like the biggest instigator.
I don't know what you're talking about. Josh, that $5 better be in PayPal later. It's all good. No, Josh is great. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, Lavender, I like you more than I like Polly right now since he says
Oh
yeah.
my god!
Ollie, trust
Well-
me, that doesn't say a lot. Trust me.
My question is this, though: is she upset that, like you said, that they all have to be alive, or
Whoa, whoa!
I mean, rigor mortis doesn't set in, for a while. So I mean, possibly.
Oh my goodness!
I can't say what I want to say because we're live, and I got told I gotta.
Behave, because you've got all kinds of listeners today.
Over 5,000 strong.
Now, Chappie.
No pressure.
I don't wanna say goodbye, but sometimes
Flounder he's left the show, and he's actually left podcasting altogether due to, real life complicated with the scheduling and stuff like that. So thank you so much, Flounder, for all you done. Miss you, buddy. And you're always welcome anytime back. We were going to put him on the miscellaneous tap to try to compensate for his scheduling, but it just didn't work out.
happy trails to you?
I like whiskey. I know black people like cognac, but I'm not a cognac.
Lavender, behave.
Damn.
Jack and Coke.
Nah, Jack.
Jack is
a
my
dog's
main
name.
man.
Let's see. Okay, so Lavenders is whiskey and diet, right? That's your normal drink, right?
That's correct.
Josh's used to be 7 and 7. Am I right?
Yeah, it's Canadian whiskey and ginger ale now.
And I would predict Chappie's to be cranberry and vodka.
No.
Chappie is harder than that.
No, I'm just
Radio edit.
with you. I've hung out with
What
Chappie
do you say
several
about Chappie?
times, and she can outdrink most people.
I agree.
I cannot outdrink at least one person in this room. Cheesy Ortega. I cannot outdrink him.
Cheesy
But-
Ortega. I don't know. I'm gonna take the Pepsi challenge on that.
Bring it on.
I also, unless you're giving me like whiskey, then I'm like kind of pro at that, but that's okay.
So what's a good segment with whiskey? Tattoos.
No, it's not really good to
Chappie
drink when you're
knows
getting a
that one.
tattoo.
So let's talk about tattoos.
I don't have any, so I can't really relate.
All right. Chappie, you have several, right?
I don't have any, but I can talk about Chappie's because she talks about them.
That Chappie just got a new tattoo and it looks awesome. So just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that she texted me with it. That looks really cool.
Chappie, are you in that awkward itch stage yet?
No, actually, I was in the last 2 days. I was today. I'm not really itching, but yesterday I looked like I had major problems because I'm walking around like trying to control my arm from actually going and scratching my back, and I can't scratch it. So, but no, that's over.
How many tattoos do you have?
I have 6.
What possessed you to start doing tattooing?
My grandma, who just heard me say that, says that's 5 too many.
Nice.
Yeah, rebellion actually makes a person want to do more. So yeah.
Josh, how many tattoos you got?
5.
What got you into doing the tattoos?
You know, I don't even really know. I think it was just a form of, you're not going to get a tattoo when you turn 18. Oh, really?
I don't have a tattoo. I have considered them in the past. Once I have my final, you have survived, I'm thinking about getting a purple cancer ribbon, like on my shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
She was really considering a picture of my likeness on her butt, but I talked her out of it.
No. That's a conversation that I will let Steph have with you.
I actually have a cancer ribbon on my foot for my grandpa. That was my second tattoo.
I have 3. I've designed them all. I won't wear anybody else's art because that's silly for me. So all mine are my own artwork.
Now, General, how many tattoos do you have?
I have 1. It's a jailhouse tattoo.
Hey, that's actually cool.
Not really. All right. So
Does anybody have barbed wire?
no.
No.
I had tribal, but I got it covered up, but no barbed wire.
Tsunami, do you have any tats?
No, I don't. It's a negative.
Sin. Well, how many you got, buddy?
I currently have 2, and I'm planning one that's going to be rather large here soon.
Are you streaming right now as well?
I'm not.
He's hosting, though.
Yeah,
What does
I'm
that mean?
hosting a bar.
That means that anybody that would be watching his page has an alert, and they are watching my page through his page. Because I put out there on Twitter to the CTR Guild to come take a look. So we even have the illustrious leader, Zug, is listening.
Zug is listening?
Zug is listening. So,
Zug, you the man. You guys are the reason why I started all this, why I even came to your server. You and I have whispered each other before. That didn't come out right, but you know what I mean?
That's creepy. Ooh.
I
Zug's
miss
no longer listening.
yeah.
I miss
Zug just left the
Coltrane and everybody,
page.
but I love the show. Thanks for everything.
All hail Lord Zug.
Zug.
So when I was a kid, tattoos were in National Geographic magazines. They were on TV, and they were on the arms of the old guys who came from the wars. And the first
Sailors.
yeah. And the first time I ever saw a girl with a tattoo was in the early 90s. And I thought it was so cool. But that was only in movies and TV shows. But now they're everywhere. And in some people's heads, it's like a little too extreme or it's too stupid or whatever. So these are the kind of connotations I've had over this subject for many years, of generations who, Generation X and the new generation now, and their meanings for they have tattoos and blah, blah, blah. So when I started doing research, there's a lot more I didn't know about tattoos. Would y'all like to know more?
Seriously.
Yes. Tell us more, Polly.
The more you know.
Okay, some say the origin of tattooing comes from Egypt. Some say ancient Egypt, like before civilization was even originated or organized or whatever. Others say that ancient China was where tattoos originated from. But the point is, tattoos and the tattooing method has always been there, and there is no true origin story. I have another page.
I thought it came from the Indians, to tell you the truth, but
yeah. Now, tattoos are a form of body modification. They insert dyes, pigments, inks, whatever, anything to change what you originally started with. In 1769, British Royal Navy Captain James Cook, he arrived at the Tahiti Islands for the first exploration trips. Now, he wrote in great lengths about these heavy painted people there. After a while, his crew, everybody got tattooed and everything, and the word comes from a word called te tau. It's a Tahitian Polynesian word, and it means to mark. So they adapted it into saying tattoo. That's where that comes from. And also
the plane. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
When it hit England about the word tattooing, they were loving it because they don't have to say scarring, painting, marked, anything like that anymore. There's actually an official documented word called tattoo.
Nifty.
So everybody's riveted by this. Now, tattoos have been used to do anything. Marking prisoners, to marking runaway slaves, to meaning something to you, or to put a number on you, to categorize you like they did in World War II. And the horribleness to goodness to sacred meanings of tattoos, it's all around the spectrum. But the one thing that really interests me was Victorian age. That was when high society was big. That was when antebellum mansions and, all that stuff. And in New England, they had the really cool, dresses, and the men were gentlemen and everything. And at one point, you had to have tattoos on your face and on your arms to be considered high society in the Victorian age.
It's actually pretty interesting.
And that's all I have on that.
That's weird.
That's it for the show. I want to thank everybody for coming on.
Thank you for having us,
Thank
Paulie.
you. Yep. Thank you for having me.
Tess, it was nice meeting you, and good luck with everything, and hopefully I can have you on Lavenders Corner pretty soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
$40.
Previously on
Wasted away again in Margaritaville.
the continuation of TAP's wrestling series.
The Rock will never forget. Oh, wait!
You think you know me?
And now, finale number 1.
I mean, there were a lot of people who went to independent shows that didn't go to WWE. You take Bret, the Hitman Hart, for example. He didn't come back for quite a while because of what happened to Owen. He has spoken out publicly against the McMahons for years. I mean, so there is still a lot of political backlash from that. But now you have Goldberg, who's come back.
The McMahons are kind of.
I mean, they're the Trumps of wrestling. Take a look at who Vince McMahon is and what he has done to that entertainment business and what he has taken it from his father to what it is now. He is the reason they are where they're at today. And that can't be disputed. But I mean,
well, when you screw
there are bodies,
people,
there are bodies on the floor,
And also Vince, he killed a lot of people, in my opinion, with all this steroid use, and he lied saying that he had no knowledge, where he was encouraging wrestlers to use steroids. Later in the years, it was making them go cuckoo.
Oh, yeah.
They were having a heart attack, and they're still dying off to this day from that shit.
Current wrestlers are still dying and freaking out. Who has died in the past 5 to 10 years? You have Eddie Guerrero, Randy Macho Man, and these are all drug-related ones. You also have Chris Benoit, who really lost his mind.
Yeah, that was one.
There are so many that have taken their own lives in a hotel room, who have lost their families, who have lost everything. I think the best thing that I saw was an interview with Jake the Snake, who said, I had a loving wife, loving children, but how do I go home to my wife and sleep with her after I've had 6 women, a goat, and a midget? you know, how do you go back and have sex with your wife? Because these are the things I'm doing on the road. Everything escalates while you're out here. It's a life on the road. And if you listen to the interviews with Austin and other people, I mean, they are athletes that take a beating. Their body pays for what they do. So if they get addicted to pain pills or anything else, I mean, they are going through complete war for our entertainment.
Wow.
And people look at that and they don't give him that credit.
If you look at Steve Austin now on his ranch show where he does the obstacle courses,
Yeah.
he looks like he's definitely had his neck broke a couple times. Because I know didn't he break his neck for real?
He did.
Oh, yeah.
And the surgeries on his knees, he has to go around with his knee braces for everything.
Yeah.
People get pissed off at each
remember
other
that,
and really hurt each other in the ring.
Well, come on, really?
Yeah.
I mean, for real. I mean, because it's soap opera.
No, well, if you've actually watched any of the documentaries, they'll tell you that, hey, let's say you go in for a clothesline on somebody and they hurt you. They're not going to be so nice on the next thing they do to you. And then that can escalate to where they do get hurt.
So much drama.
During WrestleMania, where Vince McMahon had the ref count out when it was already said that Brett was going to win the match, and he gave the match to Shawn Michaels because of a contract dispute.
And they call that the WWE screw job.
That's just it, is there are serious things. Somebody was screwing around with Vince McMahon on the plane, and The Undertaker is like Vince McMahon's boy. The Undertaker was asleep, and I think it was Austin, and Austin was screwing around with McMahon, and Undertaker woke up and literally grabbed Austin and stuck him to the top of the plane because he thought something was happening.
That was for real. That wasn't scripted or anything.
No, that was for real. A lot of things go on in WWE behind the scenes. They are real.
Any of you MMA fans as well?
I like UFC.
So John Jones is talking about if he wins against Daniel Cormier Saturday, that he'd like to have a mega fight between him and Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar said he is open to the idea, even though his suspension would still be, I believe, for another 3 to 6 months.
Why is he suspended from wrestling?
No, he's suspended from MMA for steroid use.
Yes! Woo! What? Woo, woo, woo! Woo! What? What's up with that?
Okay, so the Attitude Era, or whatever that was called, that all ended. The wars ended, right? Because that was all during the Monday Night Wars and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so what happened then after that?
After that, pretty much came John Cena.
He looks just like
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Now, he was big. I saw him. He was on TV shows. He did his own little movie called The Marine.
He's been in several movies.
I like him. I think he's okay, but I don't know about wrestling, though. I've only known him as an actor. So.
I think John Cena, for a typical grown man wrestling fan, no one really likes him. But if you're a 10-year-old boy, I want to see John Cena, yay!
Yeah, he's kind of like this generation's Hulk Hogan. He's the good guy. He's the eat your vitamins, listen to the 5 laws of John Cena's horrible rap, and you can, I don't know.
I think I knew who John Cena was just from when I worked at Walmart 5 years or more ago, just because they sold that like crazy.
Did he phase out? Is he still around? I know he had like a shoulder injury or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he had multiple surgeries, but now he's actually starting to come back. Actually, I seen an episode yesterday where he's probably going to be facing someone coming up in the next pay-per-view. So
I remember watching something on MTV with Hulk Hogan. He's wearing a fanny pack, and he's in the back of a limousine, and he's a little bit worried because this was all during that everyone's getting tested and everybody had to go to court. Is that what it was? They all had to go over court for this?
Yeah, there was a big trial on drugs and wrestling because at that point they were trying to make it a sport. And then once it became sports entertainment, that it wasn't a sport, these drugs, it kind of went away on its own.
We have a phone interview with an actual wrestler for the wrestling series, Xavier Frost. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm on the phone with an actual wrestler. Tell me how y'all got it started. How did this all start? How'd you get into it?
Well, actually, I was a fan growing up. About 7 years old. Every Sunday morning they would play a whole, back-to-back-to-back wrestling shows on, I think it was like Channel 11. And so that piqued my interest, and I just kept continuing watching and being a fan. And one day I was like, you know what? I want to try it. I went to a local independent show with Midwest Powerhouse Wrestling. They had a flyer up at that show, said, you want to be a wrestler? So I called the number on it, and 1 month later, I'm inside a wrestling ring getting beat up by the UFC Hall of Famer Dan the Beast Severn.
Really? Wow.
Yes, sir. That was my first training experience. He took me in the corner to demonstrate how to give a chop to somebody, and then he proceeded to chop me about 120 times in a row.
Oh. Did you ever at this point think, maybe I should pick a different hobby?
Nope, loved every minute of it. From that point on, I just trained with Dan Severn, a local wrestler by the name of Searcher, who in 2015 got inducted into the Midwest Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. And I would say I trained for probably about 9 months, and then I got my first match, and the rest is history.
Cool. Prozac Methius, he was telling me that back in the day, real wrestling, regional stuff, actual areas of the country, that was real wrestling. And now it's more just, sports entertainment. What is it the one you do? I mean, are you going to WCW eventually, or go on to something different, or is this just what the local circuit is, or?
It can for some guys. It's all about getting your name out and trying to get as much exposure as possible. For some guys, WWE is the goal. For other guys, they're just happy doing what they're doing. I wouldn't mind going to WWE someday, but is it something I want to do as my job every day in and day out? No, not really. There's a lot of wear and tear on your body. You're on the road over 300 days a year. That's not something I'm really looking to do.
Wow, so that's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy, working the independent scene, winning titles, beating the crap out of people, and then I get to go home and sleep in my own bed.
Nice.
That's a good deal for me.
What's the worst injury you think have you ever suffered?
I tell you what, I've had so many injuries. It's too many to count. Torn rotator cuff, herniated discs in my back. I felt like I'd broken my neck before. I had one match where I hit 2 minutes into the match. I got thrown into a guardrail, split above my eyebrow open to where the eyebrow muscle was hanging out about 10 or 12 minutes later, and I actually won the match, all with my eyebrow muscle hanging out. I split my forearm open down to the bone, to where the bone was exposed, gone through barbed wire tables. I've been thrown off the top of steel cages. I mean, you name it, it's probably happened.
So you guys are more like real wrestling. This isn't really choreographed stuff like you see on TV.
Well, I'll tell you that the physicality is extremely real, and I have the scars to prove it.
How much working out do you do?
Going to the gym's very important if you want to take yourself serious. I go to the gym 5 days a week.
Do you have like the big banter and dramatic rivalries?
There's a showmanship aspect to it, of course. You come to a World Powerhouse Wrestling show, you're going to see a lot of action, a lot of people getting hit. You're going to get a show. Even if you're not a fan of wrestling, you can come to one of our events and have an absolute blast.
Where can we find you? How do we find the websites to, find the scheduling to, see where your shows are at?
My home promotion is World Powerhouse Wrestling. The website for that is wpwpro.com. On that, you'll find title histories, recent events that are coming up. You can check out where we're going to be. We got a show coming up in Madison, Illinois, the AMVETS, coming up on the 26th of August. Going to be a huge main event. And then just check out our shows. We got another show coming up in Jerseyville in September. That's going to be a huge show. Tickets are cheap. $10 at the door, $8 in advance for adults, and $6 anytime for children. That's 12 and under. We're also on Facebook. If you do a search for World Powerhouse Wrestling on Facebook, WPW Video on YouTube, if you want to watch some matches.
Cool. Are you in any of them?
So we're out there. And, yeah. I would say I'm in a few of those. I was the first ever WPW World Heavyweight Champion.
Cool.
I also and the only man to win the title twice. I'm also the longest ever reigning WPW champion at 321 days.
Congrats, man. That's pretty cool. And that's Xavier Frost. I love that name, man.
Sir. Thank you.